I believed Mom when she said, "We just can't afford the flight." I cried, but let it go. Then my aunt accidentally tagged Mom in a post, pool deck, cocktail in hand, smiling from ear to ear. Best family vacation ever. They had lied. I turned to my husband and whispered, "Call the lawyer." Now. 5 minutes later, my phone wouldn't stop ringing. My wedding day was supposed to be the happiest day of my life, but it became the brutal moment. 3 empty chairs exposed a betrayal so deep, it shattered my entire world. It wasn't just that my family chose a Caribbean cruise over seeing me get married, it was the chilling truth that they'd been systematically stealing from me for years, all while I desperately craved their love. Honestly, looking back, the signs were always there. But like an idiot, I kept hoping. I even saved them front row seats, ribbons tied, names on little cards. Just in case. You know, hope is a stubborn thing. But the real story, the one that blew everything apart, really started just a week before I was supposed to marry Jordan. 7 days. 7 days until I'd walked down the aisle in this cream-colored dress I'd found on clearance, feeling like royalty anyway. 7 days until my family would gather to celebrate me, something that was finally, completely mine. At least, that's what I kept telling myself. It was a Tuesday morning, just like any other, except I was cross-legged on the floor, tackling the last of the wedding thank you cards. Jordan was off on his bachelor camping trip, 3 days of fishing, not much drinking, classic Jordan. The apartment felt too quiet without him, so I put on one of those cheerful wedding podcasts. You know, the kind where they talk about floral arrangements like it's a matter of life and death. Then my phone buzzed. My mom. I smiled, swiping to answer. Yeah, she'd been a little distant lately, but I chalked it up to wedding stress. Everyone gets a little crazy, right? That's what I'd been telling myself for months. Hi, Mom. Just thinking about you. Did you get the itinerary? Ceremony's at 4, but I'd love for you to come to the bridal suite around noon. Emily, honey, she said. Oh, that voice. I knew that voice. It was the same one she used when she missed my college graduation because Rachel had a dance recital. Or when she couldn't make my promotion dinner because Dad's bowling league had playoffs. It was the voice of impending disappointment. We need to talk about Saturday. My hand froze on a thank you card. The podcast host was cackling about a collapsed cake, but it felt a million miles away. What about Saturday? A long pause. I could hear her breathing, could almost see her in my childhood kitchen, probably wiping down counters that were already spotless. She did that when she was nervous. We're not going to be able to make it, sweetheart. The words hung in the air, a cruel, impossible puzzle. Not able to make it to my wedding. My wedding. I don't understand. It's just the money, Emily. You know how things have been. Car repairs, property taxes, gas prices, 3 hours each way. It's just not feasible right now. Feasible. She said it like we were discussing a business deal, not the most important day of my life. I was desperate. Mom, I offered to help with gas money. Jordan's parents have an extra room at their hotel. If you need somewhere to stay, we could, it's not just that. She cut me off, her voice suddenly sharp, defensive. Your father's back has been acting up. 3 hours in the car would kill him. And Rachel has that thing with her friends that weekend. That thing with her friends. My voice cracked. Mom, this is my wedding. I know that, Emily. Don't be dramatic. We'll celebrate when you get back. Maybe a nice dinner. Somewhere special. Somewhere special, like the Olive Garden where they took me after high school graduation, where Rachel got to order dessert because she'd sat through my boring ceremony. Is Dad there? Can I talk to him? He's in the garage. You know how he is. Men and emotions. She laughed, a hollow sound. He loves you, sweetheart. We both do. This is just bad timing. Bad timing. Like I'd planned my wedding just to inconvenience them personally. What about Rachel? Is she? Oh, honey, I should go. The stove timer's going off. We'll call you after, okay? To hear all about it. Take lots of pictures. She hung up before I could even breathe. I sat there, phone still in my hand, staring at the half-written thank you card. Thank you so much for the beautiful serving dish, Jordan. And I can't wait to what? Use it at family dinners where my family would never show up. I called Dad's cell. Straight to voicemail. I texted Rachel, Mom says you guys can't make it to the wedding. Please tell me this isn't real. Her response came 3 hours later. Sorry, sis. Money's tight for everyone right now. Hope it's beautiful. 2 hearts. A heart emoji. She sent me a heart emoji instead of coming to my wedding. That night, I just sat in the bathtub, the water growing colder and colder, replaying every conversation from the last 6 months. Mom's initial excitement about flowers and colors had cooled, slowly, like someone dimming a light. Dad, who'd promised me a dance, stopped mentioning the wedding altogether. Jordan called from his camping trip. How's my almost wife doing? I wanted to lie. I wanted to protect him, just for a few more hours, from my family's mess. But I'd promised him, years ago, no more pretending things were fine when they weren't. They're not coming, I told him. The silence stretched, so long I thought we'd lost connection. Your parents? Any of them? Mom, Dad, Rachel. They said they can't afford it. Emily, his voice was so careful, so gentle. They drove to Vegas last month for that concert Rachel wanted to see. I know. They just bought that new patio furniture set. I know, baby. This isn't about money. His voice was firm now. I know that, too. We stayed on the phone until his battery died, Jordan making promises. Our wedding would be perfect anyway. His family was my family now. We were building something new, something better. I wanted to believe him so badly. I curled up in our comforter, desperate for my dad's face, for my mom's happy tears, for Rachel beside me. They weren't there. The rest of the week blurred. Final fittings. Rehearsal dinner. Jordan's family enveloped me in warmth. His mother teaching me their traditional wedding bread recipe. His sisters bickering over who'd fix my veil. But every kindness, every gesture of love, felt like a spotlight shining on what was agonizingly missing. Should we save them seats? The venue coordinator asked during rehearsal. For your parents? Sometimes people change their minds last minute. I looked across the room at Jordan. He gave me the smallest, most encouraging nod. Yes, I said, my voice barely a whisper. 3 seats. Front row. Left side. Hope, I told myself, is a stupid, stubborn thing. The night before the wedding, sleep wouldn't come. Jordan was at his brother's, tradition. The apartment felt cavernous. I pulled out my laptop, scrolling through old photos. Christmas 3 years ago, matching sweaters. Dad, arm around me at my college graduation, at least he'd made it to the party. Rachel and I at the beach, planning our futures. In every picture, we looked like a family. A real family. The kind that showed up. Then I found a video from Rachel's high school graduation. Mom had filmed it, sniffling with pride. That's my baby, she'd whispered. The camera shook with her applause. She'd driven 6 hours to be there. Rachel's school was being renovated, so the graduation was 3 towns over. 6 hours. But 3 hours to my wedding. Impossible. At midnight, I called Mom again. Maybe the darkness, the lateness, gave me a sliver of bravery. Emily, is everything okay? No, I said, my voice raw. Nothing's okay. I'm getting married tomorrow and my family won't be there. We've been over this. Mom, please. Please. I will never ask you for anything else. I'll pay for everything. Gas, hotel, food. I'll never bring it up again. Just please be there. The silence stretched again. I heard Dad snoring in the background. The tick of their grandfather clock, the one that would go to Rachel someday. Just like everything else. We can't, Emily. I'm sorry. Try to understand. I'm trying, I whispered. I've been trying my whole life. She hung up first. The morning of my wedding dawned bright, clear, and utterly perfect. The air smelled like autumn promises. Lily, my maid of honor, burst in at 7 with coffee and bagels. Jordan's sisters followed with champagne. Today's about joy, Lily announced, her eyes firm in the mirror as she pinned my hair. Nothing else. Just joy. I nodded, blinking back tears. The makeup artist was coming soon. We laughed. We toasted. I slipped into my dress, and Jordan's mother fastened my grandmother's pearls around my neck, the one family heirloom that had come directly to me. As if my father's mother knew I'd need something that was just mine. At 3:04, we lined up outside the chapel. Jordan's Uncle Tom offered his arm. He was a good man, kind, with laugh lines that spoke of a happy life. But he wasn't my dad. You're radiant, Tom said. Jordan's a lucky man. Thank you, I managed. The music swelled. The doors opened. 200 faces turned to me. My eyes flew to the front left row. 3 empty chairs. Ribbons tied to their backs. Place cards with names that felt like open wounds. Mom. Dad. Rachel. But then I saw Jordan. And the whole world narrowed. He was crying already, not even trying to hide it, his hand over his heart. His brother whispered something, probably teasing, but Jordan never looked away. Every step down that aisle was a choice. A choice to move forward. To run toward something, not away from everything. Tom squeezed my arm, kissed my cheek, and placed my hand in Jordan's. You came, Jordan whispered, his voice thick. Just for me. Where else would I be? The ceremony was everything we planned, and nothing like I'd imagined. Jordan's vows made everyone cry. Mine made them laugh, then cry again. When the officiant said, "You may kiss the bride," Jordan dipped me like we were in an old movie. Cheers echoed off the rafters. We were married. Despite everything. We were married. The reception was a whirlwind of toasts and dancing. Jordan's dad even tried to teach everyone an Estonian folk dance. And then, during the cake cutting, Lily pulled me aside. She said, her voice strange. Don't look now, but what? She handed me Jordan's phone. Your mom's been tagged in something. I thought you should see it before anyone else mentions it. My hands were still sticky with cake frosting when I saw it. The photo was posted 2 hours ago, while I was saying, I do. And there they were. All of them. Mom, Dad, Rachel. My aunts, uncles, cousins. Everyone who had said they couldn't afford to come to my wedding. They were on the deck of a cruise ship, tropical drinks in hand, wearing matching Franklin Family Reunion 2024 t-shirts. The caption, posted by someone named Maya Janet, best family vacation ever. So blessed to have everyone together. #ShipSunWaterWave. Everyone. Everyone except me. The phone slipped from my hand. Lily caught it, her face pale. Emily, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have shown you. No, my voice sounded strange, detached. No, I needed to see. Jordan was at my elbow, flushed from dancing with his grandmother. Hey, beautiful. They're about to. He stopped, seeing our faces. What's wrong? Lily wordlessly handed him the phone. I watched his expression change. Watched the joy drain from his face like water from a broken cup. Are you fucking kidding me? Jordan's voice was a low growl. No. No, Emily, this is. He scrolled through the photos, his jaw tightening. This one's from yesterday. They're at the port. Your dad's wearing a Hawaiian shirt that still has the price tag on it. Yesterday. They were at a port yesterday. Probably in Florida, an 8-hour drive from home. They'd booked this months ago. Weeks ago. When I was sending out save the dates. When I was begging them to be here. I need a minute, I said. I locked myself in the bridal suite, the music and laughter from the reception still echoing below. My wedding was happening without me, just like that cruise was happening without me. A perfect metaphor for my entire life. I sank to the floor, uncaring of my dress, and went through every tagged photo like a detective at a crime scene. Rachel, posing in a new, expensive white sundress on formal night. My dad, playing shuffleboard with Uncle Pete, who'd claimed he was too under the weather to travel. My mom at a champagne breakfast with Aunt Susan, the timestamp exactly 4 p.m., the moment I walked down the aisle. But the worst one was buried in the comments. My cousin Trevor, probably drunk, had posted a photo of the whole family in the ship's ballroom, glasses raised as my dad gave a speech. The caption, Uncle Rob's toast to family. The ones who matter most always find a way to be together. Glad we skipped the drama for this. Skipped the drama. My wedding was the drama. I zoomed in on their faces. Laughing. Happy. Not a single person looking guilty. Or sad. Or like they wished they were with me. A knock. Jordan's voice. Can I come in? I unlocked the door. He slipped inside, a glass of water and a piece of our wedding cake in his hand. Thought you should eat something. I can't. He sat beside me, pulling me close. I want to drive to that port and throw every single one of them overboard. He managed a grim smile. It's international waters. You'd probably get away with it. Don't tempt me. He kissed my temple. What do you need? I need to understand, I choked out. Why wasn't I enough? Why am I never enough? Hey. He turned my face to his. You are more than enough. You are everything. They're the ones who aren't enough. They're the ones who are broken. Then why does it hurt like I'm the broken one? He had no answer. Lily knocked again. Your mom's calling. She must have seen that people saw the posts. I stared at the screen, watching her name flash. Then I declined the call. No. She doesn't get to explain this away. Not this time. My phone immediately exploded with texts. Mom, it's not what it looks like. Mom, we booked this before we knew your wedding date. Mom, Rachel really needed this after her breakup. Mom, you know we love you. Mom, why aren't you answering? Mom, this is exactly why we didn't tell you. We knew you'd be dramatic. I turned off my phone. Come on, Lily said, pulling me gently to my feet. You have a room full of people who actually showed up for you. Let's go celebrate that. We went back. I danced with Jordan's father. He whispered, "You're the daughter I always wanted," in my ear. I laughed at the best man's speech. I threw my bouquet. I smiled for photos. But inside, I was cataloging every lie. Every excuse. Every time they'd chosen someone or something else over me. The birthday party they'd missed because Rachel had a sleepover. The scholarship ceremony they'd skipped because it was raining. The holiday dinners where I'd cooked for hours, only to eat alone. Always something. During our first dance, Jordan held me close. We're going to build something better, he whispered. A family that shows up. What if I don't know how? I asked, tears blurring his face. What if I'm broken like them? You're not. You know how I know. Because you're here, hurting like hell, and you're still being kind to everyone. You haven't made a scene. You haven't ruined anything for anyone else. You're not them, Emily. You'll never be them. Later, out on the balcony, Jordan's mom, Patricia, joined me. Jordan told me, she said simply. About your family. I nodded, unable to speak. My mother missed my wedding, too, she confessed. Said she had the flu. Found out later she was in Atlantic City with her boyfriend. How did you forgive her? Patricia was quiet for a long moment. I didn't. I just decided to live well despite her. Had beautiful children, built a loving home, created the family I'd wished for. The best revenge isn't actually revenge, Emily. It's joy. Joy they can't touch or ruin or take credit for. They posted photos during my ceremony. During the exact moment. I know, sweetheart. And someday, when they're old and wondering why their daughter doesn't visit, why their grandchildren don't know them, they'll remember those photos. They'll remember choosing a cruise over your wedding. And they'll have to live with that. What if they don't care? Then you'll have wasted less time figuring that out. We went back inside for the last dance. Etta James sang, "At Last." Jordan held me like I was spun gold. The 3 empty chairs still sat there, ribbons perfect, place cards unmarred. Physical proof I'd saved space for people who couldn't be bothered. As we swayed, I saw Jordan's sister taking photos, carefully framing out those empty chairs. Protecting me. Even in the documentation. That's what family does, I realized. They protect you from hurt, not cause it. The reception ended with sparklers and cheers. We ran to the waiting car. In the back seat, finally alone, I turned my phone back on. 47 missed calls. 112 texts. The cruise photos had already ripped through my extended network. People were figuring it out. But one message stopped me cold. From a number I didn't recognize, a friend of my mom's named Deborah. Emily, I'm so sorry about what they did. You should know. Your father withdrew $8,000 from the joint account last month for that cruise. The account your grandfather set up. That wasn't his money to take. I read Deborah's message 3 times. The words barely registered at first: joint account, grandfather's account, $8,000. Jordan, my voice came out strangled. He'd been rubbing my back, trying to calm me from the emotional tsunami of the last few hours. What is it? I handed him my phone. I watched his eyes scan the message, watched his expression shift from confusion to understanding, then to pure, unadulterated rage. That account, that's the one with your name on it. From when you were 18. I nodded. Grandpa had taken me to the bank then, added me to an account he'd set up. For your education, he'd said. Or emergencies. This is yours, Emily. Just yours. But Dad was the primary account holder. Something about taxes. I'd never touched it. Honestly, I'd forgotten it existed after Grandpa died 2 years ago. Assumed it was empty. We need to call someone, Jordan declared. This is theft. I don't care if it's our wedding night, I don't care if it's Christmas morning. He was already pulling out his phone. My friend Megan, from law school. She handles this kind of thing. Jordan, we can't call a lawyer on our wedding night. Watch me. 20 minutes later, we were in our hotel suite. Not exactly the wedding night I'd imagined. Jordan was on speaker with Megan, while I pulled up bank websites on his laptop. First things first, Megan's voice was all business, despite the hour. Emily, can you access the account online? I don't know. I never have. Try your social. See if you can reset the password. My hands shook as I typed. The account existed. My name was on it, secondary holder, but still there. I reset the password, logged in, and immediately wished I hadn't. The transaction history was like reading a map of my family's betrayal. Starting balance 3 years ago, $47,000. Grandpa had been saving for me my entire life. Current balance, $2,341. Oh my God, I breathed. Withdrawals scrolled down the page like a grocery list of deception. $8,000 last month for vacation expenses. $5,000 6 months ago, the same week Rachel got her car. $3,500 last year when Mom redecorated the living room. Transaction after transaction, all authorized by Dad, systematically draining away what Grandpa had left for me. Emily, Megan's voice cut through my spiral. This is fraud. Your name is on the account. You never authorized these withdrawals. We can file charges. Against my father. Jordan was pacing now, his suit jacket discarded, bow tie hanging loose. Against someone who stole from you. The relationship doesn't change the crime. There's more, Megan, Jordan said. If this was meant specifically for Emily, wouldn't there be documentation? Possibly. Emily, do you have any of your grandfather's papers? A will? Anything? I thought of the box under our bed. The one Grandma had given me after Grandpa's funeral. For when you need him, she'd said. I'd never opened it. We do. But not here. It's at home. First thing Monday morning, I need you to file a police report. Then freeze the account, document everything, and send a formal notice of dispute to your father. Emily, I know this is your family, they're not, I said quietly. Family doesn't do this. After we hung up, Jordan and I sat in silence on the hotel bed, still in our wedding clothes, staring at the laptop screen. The most recent transaction was yesterday. Morning. $67 for a ship Wi-Fi package. They'd used my inheritance to pay for internet so they could post photos during my wedding. I want to do it, I said. File the report. Send the notice. All of it. Are you sure? Jordan asked, his voice low. There's no going back from this. There's no going back anyway. I gestured at my phone, which hadn't stopped buzzing. The cruise photos had gone viral in our small town. People were commenting, sharing, expressing shock. My high school English teacher, I can't believe they missed your wedding for this. Jordan's aunt, some people don't deserve the families they have. But my family was fighting back. Rachel posted, people don't know the whole story. Emily has always been dramatic. We needed this vacation for our mental health. Mental health. My sister was using therapy speak to justify abandoning me. Mom tried damage control. We planned this cruise a year ago. Emily scheduled her wedding knowing we had plans. That was a lie so bold it took my breath away. I'd sent save the dates 8 months ago. She'd helped me pick the date. I'm done, I told Jordan. Done pretending they love me. Done making excuses. Done being the understanding one. Good, he said fiercely. It's about time. I picked up my phone and typed a Facebook post. Jordan read over my shoulder. Thank you to everyone who celebrated with us today. To those who couldn't make it, we missed you. To those who chose not to come, your absence was a gift. It showed me who my real family is. P.S. If you're wondering about the empty chairs and the photos, check the cruise tags from today. Sometimes people show you exactly who they are. Believe them. You sure? Jordan asked. I hit post. Then I called Megan back. How soon can you send that notice? I can draft it tonight. Send it first thing in the morning. Do it. My phone rang immediately. Mom. I declined. Dad. Declined. Rachel. Declined. Unknown number, probably one of them on someone else's phone. Declined. Jordan gently took my phone. Powered it off. Tomorrow. We'll deal with it all tomorrow. But tomorrow came faster than expected. At 3 a.m., a knock at our hotel room door. Hotel security stood there with a man I didn't recognize. "Mrs. Peters, this was left for you at the front desk." The gentleman said it was urgent. An envelope. My name, in Dad's careful handwriting. I waited until security left. Inside, a single sheet of paper. "Emily, stop this now before you ruin everything. You don't understand what you're doing. That money is complicated. Your grandfather's estate is complicated. If you pursue this, you'll destroy more than just our relationship. You'll destroy his legacy. We need to talk in person. No lawyers, Dad." I laughed. Actually laughed. Now he wants to talk. Now it's urgent. Jordan read the letter, his jaw tight. His legacy. He stole your legacy. My phone, even powered off, seemed to pulse with unspent energy. I knew when I turned it on there'd be an avalanche. Messages, calls, accusations, guilt trips, manipulation. "Let them panic," Jordan said, pulling me back to bed. "Let them wonder what you're going to do. Let them feel what it's like to be left out. To not know what's happening. To be powerless." But I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about that account. About Grandpa carefully depositing money for 23 years. Birthday money. Christmas money. Probably his Social Security checks toward the end. All for me. All stolen. At 7 a.m., I turned on my phone. 183 missed calls. 294 texts. 47 Facebook notifications. But one message stood out from a number I didn't recognize. "Emily, this is Robert Harrison, your grandfather's attorney. I've been alerted to some concerning activity regarding your grandfather's estate. Please call me immediately. There are things about your inheritance you need to know." I looked at Jordan. "It's Sunday morning. Call him." Robert Harrison answered on the first ring. His voice was old, but sharp, like aged whiskey. "Emily, thank God. I've been trying to reach you for 2 years. 2 years since Grandpa died. Your parents told me you weren't interested in dealing with the estate. That you were too busy with school, then work, then wedding planning." Another lie. "Mr. Harrison," I said. "I've never heard from you. Ever." A long pause. "I see. Well, that changes things considerably. Can you meet me tomorrow? There's quite a bit we need to discuss. Bring your husband. You'll want a witness for this." "Is it about the account? The one my dad's been draining?" "Oh, my dear girl, that account is the least of it. Your grandfather left you everything. The house. The investments. The properties. Your parents have been living in your house, Emily. And if what I'm seeing in these bank records is correct, they've been stealing from you for 2 years." The phone slipped from my numb fingers. Jordan caught it, took over the conversation, arranged the meeting. I sat on the hotel bed in my wedding nightgown, trying to process what I just heard. My house. They've been living in my house. The house where they told me there wasn't room for me when I visited. The house where they'd said I couldn't have my wedding reception because it would be too much trouble. The house they'd been renovating with my money. "Emily." Jordan knelt in front of me, taking my hands. "We're going to fix this. All of it." "They knew," I whispered. "This whole time. They knew. Every time they said they couldn't afford something. Couldn't help me. Couldn't be there. They were spending my money. Living in my house." My phone buzzed. A text from Rachel. "You're destroying this family." I texted back, "No. I'm just done being the one who gets destroyed." Then I did something I should have done years ago. I blocked them all. Mom. Dad. Rachel. Every aunt and uncle who'd chosen a cruise over my wedding. Every cousin who'd laughed about skipping the drama. "What now?" Jordan asked. "Now?" I stood up, suddenly feeling stronger than I had in years. "Now we go home. We get Grandpa's box. We meet with the lawyer. And we take back everything they stole. Not just the money. My dignity. My self-worth. My belief that I mattered. All of it. And then we build that better family you talked about. The kind that shows up." He kissed me. And for a moment, in that hotel room, with the morning sun streaming through the curtains, I felt something I hadn't felt in years. Not happy, exactly. Not yet. But free. Free from the weight of trying to earn love that was never going to be given. free from the lie that I was the problem. Outside, my phone lit up with notifications. The post had been shared over 1,000 times. Messages poured in from people I'd forgotten, childhood friends, distant relatives, teachers, neighbors. All variations of the same theme. We had no idea. We're so sorry. You deserved better. Yes, I thought. I did deserve better. And finally, I was going to get it. The last text I saw before Jordan took my phone away again was from Deborah, my mother's friend. Your grandfather would be proud. He always said you were the only one with backbone in that family. Fight them, Emily. Fight them with everything you have. I intended to do exactly that. Monday morning arrived with a crisp clarity that almost felt like a promise of a fresh start. Jordan and I sat in Robert Harrison's office, a wood-paneled room that smelled like old leather and important decisions. The box from under our bed sat between us, still unopened. Mr. Harrison, silver-haired and sharp-eyed, settled behind his desk. He looked every bit the seasoned lawyer, but his gaze, when it met mine, was soft, almost paternal. Your grandfather talked about you constantly, he said. Emily this, Emily that, you were his pride and joy. Then why? My voice cracked. Why did he leave everything in a way that they could just steal it? He didn't. Mr. Harrison pulled out a thick folder. Your grandfather was many things, but naive wasn't one of them. He knew exactly what your parents were capable of. He spread documents across the desk like a dealer laying out cards, trust papers, bank statements, property deeds. Your grandfather created an ironclad trust. You were to receive everything, the house, the investment accounts, the rental properties, on your 25th birthday, or on your wedding day, whichever came first. Your father was named temporary executor, only to manage things until then. But I'm 26, I stated. I've been 26 for 8 months. Yes. And your father was legally required to transfer everything to you last February. He didn't. Jordan leaned forward, his voice tight. That's fraud. That's multiple felonies, Mr. Harrison corrected. Your father has been collecting rent from 3 properties, about $4,500 a month, that should have been going to you. He's been living in a house that legally belongs to you. And he's been systematically draining accounts that were supposed to be protected. How much? I asked, my voice barely a whisper. Total. How much should I have? Mr. Harrison consulted his papers. Based on your grandfather's last accounting, plus appreciation and interest, approximately $380,000 in assets, plus another $60,000 in the accounts. The room spun. I grabbed Jordan's hand. They told me Grandpa left everything to them. They said he left me some savings bonds that wouldn't mature for years. Open the box, Mr. Harrison said gently. With shaking hands, I lifted the lid. Inside, wrapped in tissue paper, were dozens of letters, all addressed to me in Grandpa's spidery handwriting, all dated after his diagnosis. I opened the one on top. My dearest Emily, if you're reading this, I'm gone. And you're probably wondering why I didn't protect you better. The truth is, I tried. I've left you everything because you're the only one who deserves it. Your parents will lie to you. They've been lying to you your whole life. Your father isn't a bad man, but he's weak. And your mother makes him worse. They see you as competition for Rachel, not as a daughter to love. I've watched them dim your light for 23 years. No more. Take what's yours. Don't feel guilty. Build the life you deserve. The lawyer has instructions. Trust Robert. He promised to find you when the time was right. All my love, Grandpa. P.S. That time you made me soup when I was sick, when you were only 7. You spent your tooth fairy money on the ingredients. That's when I knew you were special. That's when I started saving everything for you. I was sobbing now. Ugly crying in that pristine office. Jordan rubbed my back while Mr. Harrison quietly pushed a box of tissues across the desk. There's more, he said when I composed myself. Your grandmother knew, too. She set up a separate trust your parents don't know about. It's smaller, just $50,000, but it's been sitting in an account they can't touch. She wanted you to have options. Why didn't anyone tell me? Your grandfather made me promise to wait until you were married or turned 25. He wanted you to be old enough to handle it, to have support. He glanced at Jordan. He would have liked you, young man. He valued people who protected Emily. So, what do we do? Jordan asked, his voice firm. First, we file for an immediate injunction to freeze all assets. Then, we file criminal charges for fraud, theft, and breach of fiduciary duty. Your parents will be served papers within 48 hours. What about the house? Legally, it's yours. We can file for immediate eviction. Eviction. My parents. From the house they'd lived in for 30 years. The house where I'd grown up. But it wasn't their house. It was mine. Grandpa had made sure of it. I need to think about that part, I said. Mr. Harrison nodded. There's no rush on the eviction. But Emily, you need to understand. They've been renovating that house with your money. The new kitchen. The pool they put in last year. The finished basement where Rachel lives rent-free. All of it was paid for with funds that belong to you. A pool. They'd put in a pool. When I'd asked if I could have my wedding reception there, Mom had said the backyard was too much of a mess. I opened another letter from the box. Emily, your wedding day is coming. I know it is, even if I won't see it. You'll be beautiful. You'll be loved. You'll be everything they said you couldn't be. Don't invite them if they don't deserve it. Family isn't blood. Family is choice. Choose people who choose you. Grandpa. How had he known? How had he seen so clearly what I'd refused to see? There's something else, Mr. Harrison said. Your father sent me an email this morning. He showed me his phone. The email was long, rambling, full of accusations and threats, but one line screamed out, Emily is being vindictive because we missed her wedding. This is all revenge. Revenge? I laughed, a bitter, hollow sound. They stole my inheritance to go on a cruise instead of my wedding. And I'm being vindictive. He also claimed I was mentally unstable. That I'd always been jealous of Rachel. That this was all a misunderstanding. Of course he does. Jordan's phone buzzed. Rachel's Facebook post. My sister is trying to destroy our family over money. She got married and now she thinks she's too good for us. Some people show their true colors when they get a man. Sad. The comments were brutal. Half supporting her. Half calling her out for missing my wedding. Someone had screenshotted my original post and put it side by side with the cruise photos. The timestamps were damning. Let them talk, Mr. Harrison advised. Everything they say can be used in court. They're admitting to being on that cruise during your wedding. They're admitting to knowing about the money. They're hanging themselves. We signed papers for the next 2 hours. Injunctions. Freezing orders. Formal complaints. With each signature, I felt something shift. Not lighter, exactly. But cleaner. Like cutting away dead tissue so the healthy parts could heal. As we were leaving, Mr. Harrison handed me one more envelope. Your grandfather left specific instructions for this to be given to you after your wedding. I opened it in the car. Emily, I now you know the truth. You know what they took from you. But here's what they could never take, your kindness, your strength, your ability to love despite being unloved. I'm leaving you more than money. I'm leaving you freedom. Freedom to never again beg for scraps of affection. Freedom to build your own family. Freedom to be exactly who you are. Your parents will say terrible things about you. Let them. Your truth is stronger than their lies. Be happy, my dear one. Be so happy it burns them. Grandpa. The papers were served on a Wednesday. I knew because Mom called Jordan's mother 47 times in 3 hours, begging her to make me see reason. Patricia, God bless her, simply told Mom I was being perfectly reasonable and hung up. By Thursday, the entire town knew. Not because I said anything, but because Dad went to their church prayer group and asked everyone to pray for their troubled daughter who'd chosen money over family. Someone recorded it. Someone else posted it. Within hours, #ChosenMoneyOverFamily was trending locally, but not the way Dad intended. People started sharing their own stories. The time my parents borrowed money from the church fund and never paid it back. The fundraiser they'd organized for Rachel's emergency surgery that turned out to be a nose job. The lies. The manipulation. The pattern of taking advantage of everyone's good nature. But the real turning point came from an unexpected source, Rachel's ex-boyfriend, Marcus. He posted a video that went genuinely viral. I dated Rachel for 3 years, he said, looking directly at the camera. I watched how that family treated Emily. They made her cook Thanksgiving dinner and then told her she couldn't eat with them because the table was full. They took her car without asking and returned it empty. They cashed her birthday checks from relatives and told her the relatives forgot. I watched them destroy that girl's self-worth for sport. And now they're crying because she's fighting back. Good for her. The video had 3 million views in 2 days. My phone became unusable. Interview requests from podcasters. Messages from distant relatives I'd never met. Friend requests from strangers who'd been through similar situations. I turned it all off. Let Jordan handle what needed handling. But I did read one message from my cousin Mia, Rachel's favorite cousin, the one who'd been flower girl at my non-existent wedding. Aunt Emily, I saw everything. The way they laugh about you when you're not there. The way they use your recipes and claim they made them. The way they spent your college fund on Rachel's pageant stuff. I'm 17 now and I see it all. When I turn 18, I'm done with them, too. You're brave. You're my hero. Friday morning, we met with Megan at the courthouse. The injunction had been approved. All accounts were frozen. The properties were under legal review. My parents had 72 hours to provide a full accounting of every penny they'd spent. They've hired a lawyer, Megan told us. Harold Whitman. Jordan scoffed. The guy who lost the Patterson case. The one who got disbarred for 5 years and just got his license back. That's the one. Apparently, he's the only one who would take the case. That should have been my first clue that things were about to get uglier. Saturday afternoon, while Jordan and I were at the grocery store, my phone exploded with notifications. Rachel had done a TikTok live, crying prettily into the camera, claiming I'd been abusive to her throughout our childhood. Locking her in closets. Stealing her things. Threatening her. It was all lies, but she was a good actress. She'd learned from Mom how to play the victim. But she made one crucial mistake. She said, Emily was always jealous that Grandpa loved me more. That's why she's doing this. Within an hour, someone had posted Grandpa's will. The actual document, which was public record. It mentioned Rachel exactly once, leaving her old golf clubs. Everything else, every single thing, was left to me. The comments turned savage. Girl, he left you golf clubs. Grandpa said, here's some sticks. Bye. Imagine lying about a dead man's love for clout. Rachel deleted the video, but the internet, as they say, is forever. Sunday was quiet. Too quiet. I should have known they were planning something. Monday morning, I woke up to find our apartment building surrounded by news vans. Someone, definitely Mom, had called every media outlet, claiming I was holding my elderly parents hostage through legal manipulation. That I was a gold digger who'd married Jordan for money and was now coming after my own family. But they'd miscalculated. The reporters had done their homework. Emily, one called out. Is it true your parents spent your inheritance on a cruise during your wedding? Can you comment on the fraud charges? How does it feel to have your story inspire others to stand up against financial abuse? Jordan and I pushed through them without commenting, but I heard one reporter doing a stand-up. The woman being painted as a villain by her family appears to be the victim of systematic financial and emotional abuse spanning years. That afternoon, Mr. Harrison called. Your parents' lawyer has reached out. They want to settle. Of course they do. They're offering to return the house in exchange for dropping all charges. Just the house. What about the hundreds of thousands they stole? They claim that money was family money used for family expenses. My money. Used for their expenses. Exactly. I told them no. But Emily, you should know, they're getting desperate. Desperate people do desperate things. He was right. That night, at Jordan's parents' house for dinner, my phone rang. At no number, local area code. Hello, Emily. This is Officer Davidson with the police department. We've just arrested your father. My blood ran cold. For the fraud? No, ma'am. He was attempting to break into your apartment. Your neighbor called it in. We rushed home. 2 police cars. Dad in the back of one. Mom screaming at the officers from the sidewalk. Rachel filming, of course. The officers showed us the doorbell camera footage from our neighbor. Dad, clearly drunk, trying to pick our lock with a credit card like some amateur burglar. When that didn't work, he started kicking the door, screaming about taking back his property. Do you want to press charges? Officer Davidson asked. I looked at Dad through the police car window. He wasn't looking at me. He was texting on his phone, probably trying to spin this, too. Yes, I said. I do. Mom rushed at me then. For a second, I thought she might hit me. Jordan stepped between us. How could you, she shrieked. Your own father. We raised you. No, I said, finding my voice, strong and clear. You raised Rachel. You tolerated me. And you stole from me every chance you got. You gave me life, and then you spent 26 years trying to make me wish you hadn't. That shut her up. Maybe it was too harsh. Maybe. It was exactly harsh enough. As the police cars pulled away, Rachel approached. "You've ruined everything," she spat. "I'm supposed to get married next year. How am I supposed to have a wedding now?" "With your own money," I suggested. "I hate you," she screamed. "I know," I said sadly. "You always have. The difference is now I don't care." The criminal trial was set for 3 months out, but the civil case moved faster. Within 6 weeks, the judge ruled in my favor on all counts. The house was mine. The remaining money was mine. The rental properties were mine. Dad's breaking and entering charge added weight to everything. He'd violated the restraining order I'd filed, been caught on camera trying to break into my home, and had sent me 43 threatening texts from the back of the police car. His lawyer dropped him the next day. Mom tried one last manipulation. She called Jordan's mother, crying, saying she had cancer and needed her family around her. Patricia, wise woman that she is, said, "That's terrible, Helen. Which oncologist are you seeing? I'll send flowers to your next appointment." Mom hung up and never called again. The house felt strange when I finally walked through it. They'd left in a hurry, forced out by the sheriff, taking only what they could prove was theirs, which, as it turned out, wasn't much. Even the furniture had been bought with my money. I found my childhood room exactly as I'd left it when I moved out at 18. Not preserved out of love, but forgotten, just like I'd been. Rachel's room, meanwhile, had been renovated 3 times. In the basement, I found boxes of my things I thought had been lost. Report cards. Art projects. The diary I'd kept in middle school. But also, strangely, photos of me that had been cut out of family pictures. Dozens of them, like they'd been systematically erasing me from the family history. "Creepy," Jordan said, looking at a Christmas photo where I'd been carefully scissored out, leaving a hole between Rachel and Dad. "No," I said, understanding finally hitting me. "It's sad. They had to work so hard to hate me. It took actual effort. We decided to sell the house. I couldn't live there. Couldn't raise children in rooms where I'd been made to feel worthless. But first, I had one last thing to do. I invited everyone. Not my parents or Rachel, they were legally barred from the property. But everyone else. Every aunt, uncle, cousin, family friend who'd chosen that cruise over my wedding. I told them I had an announcement about the house. They came, of course, hoping I'd forgive them, or give them something, or just curious about the drama. The backyard was full. The same backyard where Mom said I couldn't have my reception. I stood on the deck, looking at all these faces that had smiled at me while enabling my abuse. And I felt nothing. They weren't my family. They'd proven that. "I asked you all here," I began, my voice clear and steady. "To tell you the truth. Grandpa left me everything because he saw what you all saw and ignored. He saw how I was treated. He saw the favoritism, the emotional abuse, the neglect. And he tried to fix it the only way he could, by making sure I'd have the resources to escape." My Aunt Janet tried to interrupt. "Emily, we didn't know, you were on the cruise," I said flatly. "You posted pictures during my wedding ceremony. You knew." Silence. "I'm selling this house. The money will go into a trust for my future children. They'll never know any of you. They'll never feel less than because of you. They'll never wonder why Grandma loves their cousin more. They'll never be told they're too sensitive when they point out unfairness. You can't cut us all off." Uncle Pete cried. "We're family." "No," I said. "You're relatives. Family shows up. Family doesn't steal. Family doesn't lie. Family doesn't choose a cruise over a wedding." I pulled out a stack of papers. "These are cease and desist orders. If any of you contact me, Jordan, or our future children, we will pursue harassment charges. This is goodbye." Some cried. Some yelled. Some just left. But Mia, my 17-year-old cousin, stayed behind. When I turn 18, can I call you?" she asked. I hugged her. "Always." The house sold in 2 weeks. Cash offer, above asking. The new family had 3 kids and a dog. They were loud and happy, exactly what that house needed. The trial came and went. Dad got 18 months probation and had to pay restitution. Mom got community service. Rachel wasn't charged, but she'd become infamous online. The video of her claiming Grandpa loved her more had been memed to death. She'd had to delete all her social media, and last I heard, was working at a call center 2 towns over. On our first anniversary, Jordan surprised me with a trip to the courthouse. Not for anything legal, but to renew our vows. Just us. The judge. His secretary as a witness. I wanted to marry you again, he said. Now that you know who you really are. Now that you're free. I cried through the whole 5-minute ceremony. That night, we had dinner with his family. My real family now. Patricia had made a cake. Jordan's sisters had decorated the restaurant's private room. His father made a toast that ended with, "To Emily, who showed us all what strength looks like." Later, as we sat on our apartment balcony, I pulled out one last letter from Grandpa's box. I'd been saving it. The one marked, "Open when you're happy." Emily, if you're reading this, you've made it. You've broken free. You've chosen yourself. I know it hurt. I know they made you feel like the villain. I know you probably still have days where you wonder if you were wrong. You weren't. Choosing yourself isn't selfish when you've spent your whole life being sacrificed for others. Taking what's yours isn't theft when it was stolen first. Be happy, my dear one. Be so magnificently happy that it makes everyone who hurt you realize what they lost. But more importantly, be happy because you deserve it. You always have. All my love, Grandpa. P.S. That husband of yours. I know you found a good one. Tell him thank you for me. For seeing your worth when your family couldn't. For standing by you. For helping you become who you were always meant to be. I folded the letter carefully, looked at Jordan. He knew about you. He knew I'd find someone who loved me right. I miss him. He's here, Jordan said, gesturing at our life. In every choice you make to value yourself. In every boundary you set. In every moment you choose joy over guilt. 2 years later, when our daughter was born, we named her Grace, after Grandpa's mother, whose picture I'd found in his papers. A woman who'd also been the black sheep. Who'd also chosen herself. Who'd also lived magnificently despite her family's disapproval. Mom sent a card when the birth announcement made the local paper. Just signed, Grandma. I returned it unopened. Rachel reached out once, through a lawyer, asking if I'd help with her wedding costs, since family helps family. I sent back a check for $50. In the memo line, I wrote, the exact amount you gave for my wedding gift. Family helps family equally. The check was never cashed. Last week, I drove past the old house. The new family had painted it yellow, added a swing set, planted a garden. Kids' bikes were scattered on the lawn, a lawn I'd once mowed while Rachel sunbathed. It looked like a home now. Not a house where someone was tolerated, but a home where everyone was loved. That's what Grandpa gave me in the end. Not just money or property, but the chance to build a home like that. A family like that. A life where showing up isn't exceptional. It's expected. My phone buzzed. Jordan texting from work. Dinner at Mom's tonight. She made that soup you love. I smiled, texting back. Wouldn't miss it. Because that's what family does. They show up. And now, finally, so do I.